Are you looking to win some money and fantasy matchups on Thursday night? Well, good thing you're watching a Gen Z Fans video because we're bringing you a fantasy player, a player prop, and the score prediction. Choose what you want. I got a player prop. He got a player prop. I got a fantasy player. He got a fantasy player. And then we're going to tell you what's going to happen with the game. So, first off, giving you...
It is week 13, and the best team in the NFL is the Philadelphia Eagles.
I should be wearing my Eagles stuff. What am I doing?
Who would have thought this? I thought at this point it would have been either Kansas or San Fran. But, you know what? Eagles are 10-1.
So the green is nice and fitting for today. I like that. So we're going to bring you money, and the Eagles reside as the
I just can't believe it's already week 13.
Yeah, no, it's kind of depressing.
No, because we got NBA, man.
Yeah, NBA. Yeah, no, it's not depressing. We got NBA, and then the real season starts now.
Oh, yeah, no, it's going to be
We got 9 weeks left.
All right, to kick you guys off with my prop, I'm going to take my boy Tyler Lockett over 48.5 receiving yards, okay? Last week, 3 Washington receivers had over 50 receiving yards, including Sam Howell having 300 passing yards. Yet, this game was a blowout, but still doesn't change the fact that the Cowboys defense let Sam Howell get 300 pass yards, okay? And 3 different Washington receivers had 50 or more receiving yards. Lockett, in his last 3 out of 5, hasn't went under 51 receiving yards. And with his 2 low games coming versus the Ravens and San Francisco,
good defenses.
Dallas is ranked 3rd versus the pass, but they are short at corner. I see their starting corner lining up against DK Metcalf the whole game almost. Tyler comes in a slant. He goes through for a 20-yard gain every single time I see it. I don't know, but he usually comes on a post route or a slant route. Usually corners don't cover that, and the Dallas safeties always play too deep to cover that. They always play too deep. We have seen it all year against great receivers that come up just on a 20-yard slant, catch it, and go. Those safeties play way too deep. But I do see DK having a rough game. I don't see Seattle being able to run the ball either. But Tyler Lockett will be opened up a lot during this game and sure to have a few shots at the end zone.
Cool. I like that take. I think Tyler Lockett's definitely safe because Gilmore is also going to be on DK.
Yeah.
Gilmore will be on DK and Lockett's deep threat. I like that a lot. And the Seahawks will be losing most of the game, so they're going to have to get down the field. All right, that brings you to my prop. I have the kicker, Brandon Aubrey, going over 7.5 kicking points. He's playing at home where he averages 10.5 kicking points. So that's 3 whole points over this prop. Also, the Cowboys score a lot at home. They're averaging almost 40 points at home. All right, they win by over 20 points in their first 5 home games. First NFL team to do so. I think Brandon Aubrey is definitely going to be kicking. And if you see my score prediction, he's definitely going to hit over 7.5 points. He's averaging 7.4, and the Seahawks are giving up 7.4. So I definitely think he goes over the 7.5 because it's at home. And once again, he's averaging 10.6 at home, 7.4 on the season. I think Brandon Aubrey gets it done for you. Hit the over on a 7.5 kicking points prop.
Okay, well, you see, always hating all my kicking and my defenses, and look, he finally got a kicking prop for himself. You see that? You see how the tables come by?
Man, I have to do it with a cowgirl. I ain't gonna be like CeeDee Lamb. I've done Tony Pollard too much, and he's let me down. He has just let me down so much. I ain't gonna be able to.
All right, well, my fantasy player, I hate to back up my prop, but I was looking at the Seahawks, and I was like, man, who's gonna? I don't see anybody having a really standout game. I was trying to give you guys a tight end prop, but Noah Fant, dude, I don't know. I did not find anything convincing on him. He could be a safe, if you need a tight end, he could possibly give you 8, maybe 6 points, but Tyler Lockett was my safest fantasy player bet. He's a flex player though, okay? Put him, if you need a flex for this week, Tyler would be able to be considered. He's projected 14.1 points on Thursday and is easily the number 2 going into this game. His boom and bust is 25 to 26, leaning towards a boom coming, or closer to a boom, I should say. But a boom is highly likely with Dallas only having one reliable corner, as I mentioned earlier, and this would be on DK Metcalf. I see Tyler Lockett having a huge game versus Dallas secondary, and in his last 6, he's not getting targeted less than 5 times a game. With the last 2 out of 3, he's been targeted 10 times and 7 times. And last time against San Francisco on Thanksgiving, he was targeted only 5 times, but it was a blowout. He hasn't produced much fantasy value the last 2 games, but Dallas is too high off the Thanksgiving win. And I think that they get punched in the mouth by another above 500 team. I'll get into that later. Lockett is my must-start flex player. Is definitely a good move for him this week.
Okay, I like that. Now, that brings me my fantasy player. I did go with the tight end, and it's going to be Jake Ferguson. He's had some bad games. The tight end position has picked up a little bit, but it's pretty ugly. I'm happy with 8 to 12 points for my tight end. I don't know about you guys if I don't have one of the big starters in Kelsey or George Kittle or Kincaid. But Jake Ferguson, he's ranked 11th tight end, and he's had 2 bad games. So he's on a good run before these 2 games. Cowboys score a lot of points at home. I think he can get a red zone look. Also, the Seahawks give up a decent amount of points to the tight end. They're not bad. I think Jake Ferguson 100% gets in the end zone, and the Cowboys score a lot of points. Like I said, the over-under is pretty high, so I like Jake Ferguson as my fantasy player.
Okay, I like that. I mean, I was going to give him Noah Fant, but he just hasn't done anything, and there was nothing where I could come up on, like, okay, Dallas is bad against the tight ends. I could have used George Kittle as an argument, but Kittle, Noah Fant,
There's a big difference there.
There's not. I don't think Noah Fant's gonna have a good game. He might score, but that might be his only touch.
Yeah, he had one big game early in the season, and then disappeared.
And he only had 10 points in that game too.
Yeah, so his best game of the season is 10
points, right? So I just had to go. I hate backing up my prop, but there was literally nothing that
if you're right, you're right.
Yeah,
if you're wrong, you're wrong.
Yeah, no.
Which we gonna be right. We aren't wrong on this episode.
Well, my score prediction. So I got the Seahawks winning this game 26-20, man.
Okay. I love it.
So Dak hasn't beat one above 500 team this year.
Mm-hmm.
But Dallas also hasn't lost a home game this year. But they haven't played a above 500 team at home yet.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay. Obviously, they haven't beat a above 500 team. They haven't played one at home yet. Every team that comes into Dallas is 500 or worse. Okay? I'm telling you this right now. It is a storyline when you're looking at this game. This game, they lose at home. And lose at home for the first time. Seattle dropped a very important game last week. This is a must win for them to keep pace for a wild card spot, as this game is a playoff caliber game. These teams could very easily see each other in the playoffs. Okay? Right?
Yeah.
So
right now they're both in the playoffs. Cowboys are 6 seed and the Seahawks Cowboys are 5 seed and the Seahawks are 6 seed. So both teams are currently in the playoffs. They can see each other, just not first round, but they 100% can be seeing themselves playing each other in January.
So Dak is 1-3 versus Seattle in his career. The point total for this game is 46. I have it hitting right on 46. Dallas is 0-2 versus above 500 teams this year. They finally face another challenging defense. Next 5 games for the Cowboys are the Seahawks, Eagles, the Bills, and the Dolphins, and the Lions. Dallas will be tested and they start this stretch off 0-1. Lastly, Seattle's next 2 after Dallas are San Francisco and Philadelphia. I see this game as a must-win, and they definitely know it is a must-win because they're not beating San Francisco and Philadelphia. It's a question of who they have on defense. They have injuries on that side of the ball. So if Philadelphia's hurt,
they had Slay and Bradbury out with them on the 15-yard line and the game on the line, and they still couldn't Get
I'm
it
saying for Seattle.
done.
Bro. I'm saying for
I'm
Seattle.
sorry.
I'm saying for Seattle.
Getting
No.
emotional. I need to chill.
Saying for Seattle, if they play the Eagles and they don't have players like Lane Johnson, Fletcher Cox, whoever else got hurt in the game 2 days ago, okay, I see Seattle giving them some trouble, but I don't think they're going to win those 2 games. This Dallas game is a must win, and you know what? We've seen some crazy stuff happen this week of teams unexpectedly beating teams. This is a perfect example. I mean, Packers beat the Lions on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay, no one thought that, right? Seattle gives Dallas a punch in the mouth, man. I think that turkey celebration is going to come back and like bite them in the butt, man.
All right. That is 100% realistic. Just because you're talking about human and morale. Absolutely. Seahawks need to win, and Seahawks just lost a division game. Cowboys haven't beat a 500 team. They were eating turkey legs on the field. They're high. So usually when Dallas is high, what goes up must come down. But I'm going with statistics here. I got the Cowboys winning 38-20. Seahawks are struggling. Their only wins since their bye are beating the Commanders by 3 points, the Cardinals, and a Browns game where the Browns crap their pants. Seattle is on a 3-game losing streak. All right. They've scored 6 points on offense last week. Their only touchdown last week was an interception for a touchdown because Brock Purdy is just average. Cowboys average 40 points at home. All right. They're the first team in NFL history to win each of their first 5 home games by at least 20 points. Geno Smith is hurt. ESPN gives the Cowboys 7.94% chance of winning. I'm not one to usually go with the statistics, but I'm going to on this one. I could 100% see the Seahawks coming in there and winning on a must-win, but Geno is hurt. If Geno was healthy, I'd feel better about it. I like the Cowboys winning at home because they're going to lose to a very good team next week at home in your own Philadelphia Eagles. But until then, they'll be riding high. Cowboys will win 38-20 in Jerry World. But we're coming to rain on the parade. Week 14, Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that's going to be a... he's looking serious into the... Yeah, no, I see. I mean, listen, man, Seattle, I think Geno's getting healthier by the day, man. I don't think his elbow is that bad. He didn't play that bad last week. He just, that defense is just on a whole different breed, So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think Seattle wins, though. Not because I hate the Cowboys. Right. It's just, I just feel like this is a Seattle type of game where they come in there and they just, catch them off guard. Because, bro, Dallas is high. Like, they're like, bro, I turn on the TV today. Here's why Dak Prescott is a MVP candidate. What?
No.
What?
He's not.
No, listen.
He's not.
Listen.
And I remember in the fantasy chat, I was like, who's got more total touchdowns, Jalen Hurts or Dak Prescott? Cowboys fan responded with Dak Prescott by 1 touchdown. Mind you, that was during the Eagles game, so the Cowboys had already played their 12th game, and the Eagles hadn't yet. So Jalen Hurts is him and the real MVP. Dak Prescott is not. Check the total touchdowns now. Jalen Hurts is 100%
I would give
better.
the MVP to Christian McCaffrey this year.
That's a good one, but
that's my
quarterback
MVP.
for 10-1, 10 rushing touchdowns. Mind you, the whole team scores when
my
he scores a rushing
MVP,
touchdown.
Christian McCaffrey.
No, that's not. I would like to see that. I would like to see a
That's
non-quarterback win MVP.
That's just my opinion, but hey, we'll see what happens. Put our 2 minutes together. Hopefully you cash out. I will cash out for sure because I'm going to add some NBA props on there too. I might drop that on our Instagram story. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
But
check that out at GenZFanatics.
Anyways, if you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and share. And we'll see you guys on our props episode coming out this week.
Peace.